All of the world's best golfers do this, but 99% of mid to high handicappers don't. Hi everyone, my name is James Robinson and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It feels a while since I've been on Get Good at Golf, Chris.
It's been a while.
I've been on holiday. It's been a very, very strange couple of months, but I've had a sabbatical and I'm back keener than ever to help you guys get good at golf. So today we're going to talk about how to play flighted shots and how to hit the correct distances. You can see we're not in Rotherham, are we?
We're not in Rotherham.
No, I mean, you could say that Woolley Park's looking very good today.
It is, they're doing a great job.
But guys, we're out in Arizona and we're going to talk about how to attack flags like this. It's a very difficult front flag, but as you can see, there's room behind it. So if I can play a couple of different shots here, we are going to use hack motion because this is, of course, the weekly hack, and see just how I can use my wrist angles to help me do this. So I'll play you the first one, and it's 100 yards, I've got a gap wedge, and if I just played a nice full shot, all I want is consistency throughout the swing from my wrist angles. I don't want it bowing, I don't want it cupping too much. You can see exactly what that does to the club face in all angles. Let's make sure we're lined up properly as well. So if I have a nice consistent wrist set, you can see I can play a nice mid-flighted shot, slightly left of the flag. That might actually spin and come, that could go in, that could be a hole in one this morning. Go on then. Go on then. And you can see that's a very nice way to play this shot, and we've put that to a couple of feet. So all I'm trying to do here is make sure that I'm controlling one thing on this club. And what's that, Chris?
That is the loft.
The loft. I mean, it's two things actually. It's the loft and it's the club face angle. I didn't want to. That's your bit later on, isn't it? But
it is.
Say if I then wanted to play this shot down a little bit, how would I go about doing this? Well, with the wrist angles, I'd actually have a little bit more forward shaft lean here, and from there, I'd feel like again I have consistency throughout, so there wouldn't be too much deviation in the wrists. I'm not going to set myself up and then try and actively set the wrists on the way back to de-loft it. I'm going to set it initially with that forward shaft lean so I can return it with less forward shaft lean at impact. That makes a lot of sense to me. It makes a lot of sense to Chris. Hopefully it makes a lot of sense to you, and you're not going to be one of the 99% of mid-handicap golfers, or even low-handicap golfers, I've seen it happen, where you're trying to manipulate that club throughout the golf swing. I've spent some time with some of the world's best players, and one of the things I remember is Henrik Stenson saying to me, the last thing I'm trying to do is manipulate that club. I don't want to manipulate it, I want it to be set at address, set at impact, and then I know where that ball's going to go. So let's play another one. And again, we're keeping the wrist angles nice and simple. And all I'm going to try and do is move that ball position back, get a bit more forward shaft lean, and play it that little bit lower. You can see that's going to land a pretty similar place, or it's gone a bit longer. This is where you could get caught out, and that's caught me out. I don't mind doing that in these videos because I can kind of explain to you guys what's happened there. That was the same swing and the club head speed will have been the same, but of course if I deal off that club face, what's going to happen, Chris?
It's going to come off a little bit faster.
A little bit faster, so club head speed was the same, ball speed would have been up, spin rate would have been down a little bit, and it's just come out a little bit flatter. So let's try and play that nice low one, and I might just have to deviate how far back I take the club for this. Again, got forward shaft lean. There we go. So now I've taken it a little bit shorter. That should land a little bit long. That one might go in. Come on, come on. I would say there 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Guys, Chris is going to talk you through something that's even more important than that, so make sure you stay tuned. But throw a like on this video if you're enjoying them, and of course subscribe if you want to get good at golf.
So guys, when you think about the 99% of you that are getting something wrong here, what are we getting wrong? And a lot of times what we start to see from this distance, again, we're around about 80 yards away here, is we start to see that people will start to release that club early. They don't know where to release the club head. We start to bottom out. We're adding too much loft onto that, and we either catch it heavy, or you'll see there straight away, we'll drop kick that. We've got too much, we've got reverse shaft lean, we've actually added loft onto there, and that club will often work up. We might hit the equator, so we might hit the thin. If we're playing off softer ground, we might actually hit a little bit heavy. So this is where you start to struggle with this, and this is what we start to see. We'll start to see you get into this position, right, I've just got to get it high here, you know, right, so I'm going to get very neutral at setup, I'm not going to have any shaft lean, and from here, it goes incredibly high. Has it got the distance? No. Just short, and only just short, but that's now in a bunker. That's now making it harder that is dead, as James says, just dead. So that's making it much harder for us. And then the opposite we start to see is when people think, right, I've been told I need to get that shaft lean on there, so I'm going to get it all set up this way, and then from there you start to drive those hands forwards. And if we do that again, we're bringing that club off the ground and we bring in the dreaded area of the golf club. Nobody wants to hit there. And this is what we start to see. Everyone tries to take too much loft off, so they get it back in the ball position. Right, I'm going to get it all set to go low. And then from there, oh, it's a runner. It might work, but we've lost contact. So this is all where the wrist angles are coming into there. We want to get them set, and a lot of you will think, well, what are you actually doing? Are you trying to release the club? Are you trying to hold it off? But if we get into a good setup position from the start, we can control those wrist angles with a good body movement, and we can help you get good at golf.
Come on. Oh, you've got to. You've got to. Go on!